Welcome. We will look at tools and techniques, material selection, and a selection of classic and new flies. We hope these videos help you become a better tyer.
We're going to try a Utah killer bug here. I'm going to be using the same material I used for one of the Sawyer's killer bugs, this Shetland spindrift. And the color that I've got to use with this today is oyster. And I just mentioned some other materials. There's a material from Simplify called Dirty Bug Yarn that works really well for this. Lichen, however you want to say it. Mottled chronomid. Racophilia, I guess. Caddis pupa would make a nice answer. And I'm going to be using the Shetland spindrift. You can tie this the same way you tie the Sawyer and just use copper wire for thread, but this has a hot spot in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some 6/0 Danville waxed fly master. I'm going to start it back about an eye length, and I'm going to go down about 2/3 of the way, clip off. I'm going to go ahead and start the wire. I'm going to use this for weight, as well as to kind of build an underbody. Going down, leave the thread hanging, and then I'm going to go back up with touching wraps to where I started the thread, and then I'm going to turn around and come back just to build a little more weight and a little more thickness to the body. And when I get to the back, I'm going to tie it off like so, and then helicopter it off that, and I'm going to wrap it back into the bend, and then I'm going to come forward and tie it down. Now, one of the things I think about this copper wire is that depending on how wet this gets and how translucent the material is you're wrapping around, it might show through, so I try not to cover it up completely. And we're going to wrap this around. Might want to go a little more overlap in the middle. I do, to build up a little taper in the body. When we get to the front, just tie it off. 2-3 wraps over it and a couple in front. And there we go. And now build up a little head, and then we're going to do a couple of 3 or 4 turn whip finishes and build out a little hot spot at the head. You can also tie this with a silver or gold, I guess, bead, in which case you put the hot spot right behind the bead. And you could tie it with lead wire, I guess, if you wanted to. There's the Utah killer bug. I don't typically use head cement on this because it will stain the yarn, and you'll get kind of a dark collar on it, sort of like this, as you can see here. So I usually just do 3 or 4 turn whip finishes and call it a day. Tie some of these up. You'll like them.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for all our videos and tight lines.